we pattern, this is where we connect the dots. Today I thought we'd talk about some tender issues as we move out of this area of the ajna, of the third eye. It's important that we address some of those stories that we make up in our minds, and they're a bit tender. So I thought we'd go right into it. My name's Deborah O'Neill. I'm the CEO and founder of blissbee.me, Integrative Holistic Health. I'm here to share because I care. We're working up the body, and here we are. We're in Chakra 6, what's known as the ajna, the third eye, where we work with our intuition and our clarity, where we deconstruct some of our stories. We deconstruct some of the illusions that we have within our mind, that are preset within our subconscious, that we've absorbed throughout our growing up years, where we've absorbed very vicarious traumas or actual physical traumas, emotional traumas, mental traumas. And that's what we'll talk about today. We're going to take a little deep dive. So I'm going to suggest that we feel our feet on the floor first. And we bring ourselves into that grounding state. And we just start to send our roots down right away. And we remember our regulating. We remember the regulating of our feet, keeping the heels on the floor, lifting the toes, alternating the feet. And the mantra here is, how slow can I go? Lifting just ever so slowly, or just rock and just allow yourself to relax into the topic and bring yourself into a place of witness and allow yourself a little recall, but don't go into the hamster wheel. That's not the intention here. We can do that if you want to do some one-on-one work, but this isn't the intention here at this time. This is just taking a look at where there might be a little static, where you think that something has, it's so long ago, I've let go of that, I've forgiven that person, and I'm, but it may be just a little blocked. It may be just shut that door on that room in your house, in this house. You've just shut that door and you're not opening that door ever again. And that's fine. But what we're working with here is we're working with a cellular health. That's what's most important to this vessel, is the cellular health. Not that our mind thinks that we've dealt with this, not that other thing. It's feeling that sensory within our body. That's sensing. That's why we take all this time to really attune to our nervous system and feel our nerve endings and know when the hair on our arms is standing up and know when we have tingles down our legs, or feeling that stickiness or that stuckness, or that sometimes it can be like, when we're looking at the imagery, sometimes it can be like a bowling ball, or it could be like a golf ball, or it could be like a snake, or it could be anything like that. But this is the area that we work with. And, it can be parts of the ego that says, the most common ego statement is, I'm not worthy. All those times it's like, who do you think you are? Your voice isn't important. Be quiet. Sit over there. Don't come over here. Blah, blah, blah. Whether it's a mother, father, brother, sister, a church person, saying, be quiet. This isn't how you'd always misbehave. Anything, anyone. It could have been a bus driver when you're getting on the bus. Hurry up. Why, you lazy. You know what I mean? Like anything that we absorb, everything that we absorb. So the visual process, that's exactly what stories are. That's all part of the visual process. I was really good at making up stories when I was growing up. My dad was never around. He worked out of town. My parents divorced, and when I was 13 years old, I became very angry. I became a very good athlete is what I became. And also I explored with people that were older than me. So I probably did a few things that were probably better that I didn't. But such the same, I am here, I am alive, and I am happy. So hallelujah to that. So when we think of stories, of course, they're directly linked to how we feel, and that how we think, and of course, how we express. So sometimes there is that acting out. Sometimes there is that withdrawal. Sometimes there's anger, sometimes there's fear, sometimes there's sadness. Sometimes there's most definitely confusion. This is the library. This is the library where we store the images. This is where we link the experience. And the subconscious mind is an operating system that works so fast. It is like supra. Whereas the consciousness, what we express is slow and so slow in comparison. So when we're working with the feelings associated with the image or the memory, often they can be unpleasant. It's like, why can I remember all the bad stuff and I can't remember all the good stuff? You know that expression? Then there's only two ways to avoid these feelings. One is repress them, repression. Stuff them down. Put them in that room in our house, this being our house, put them in that room and close that door and never open that door again. Never. Or we can disassociate. We've talked about that. We leave the body. We turn everything off. Everything becomes blocked. But you do good at faking it till you make it. You can turn on the happy tap. And sometimes you'll be triggered and the angry tap will go on. But you're never going back to that image, those images, those visuals that allow you to feel, think, and express. That's where we're at. This is big time, big work. Big time, big work. But it's allowing us to just take that awareness, that baby step, going, what's this all about? Waking up going, wow, I feel off. What's going on? It could have been about a dream that you don't remember. And try to ask before you go to sleep, may I remember my dreams and may I have the knowledge to understand them? Put a pen and paper right beside your bed. Put it in your bed, if you like. And I have a pen that I click on and click off. So when I wake up from a dream, kind of in that dream state, I know I need to click it on. And then I know that I have a blank page there to write on so that I can jot down whatever it is. And give the permission for the dreams to come. And ask for meaning making from them. It helps us in our perception to understand the visuals, the stories, that gives sense of the images, the numbers. I've had numbers come up. I've drawn pictures. Be curious with yourself and have fun with the exploration of you. Not in a pity party, not in that hamster wheel, but with a curiosity like none other. And say, wow, this is so cool. It's so cool. I go in and out of it, and I've just re-engaged it now when we're in this process. And yes, I've washed my sheets with a pen inside my sheets, and it's exploded all over my sheets, and it cost me a new set of sheets. Yeah, there's some downfalls, but that's the only one that I can really think of that I've experienced so far. All we're really doing is working with the consciousness, right? We're becoming more aware of our consciousness. So as we become more aware, we increase our level of consciousness. And that's what we're working with. So Judith Anadeth had some really great one-liner sentences that I thought we could incorporate in today's work before we go into our meditation. I want you to feel your feet on the floor, and I want you to feel the sit bones on the chair. And I'd like you to engage your deep diaphragmatic breath as I talk to you about a couple areas that she thinks is really, really important, and I agree 150%. So she talks about with repressed memories. And that when we repress memories, you see in the chakras, when we go into the monthly membership, we'll go further deep dive, but there's a way that the chakra is excessive and there's a way that the chakra is deficient. So when it's deficient, that's when we disassociate, right? We're just pulling up. We're just saying goodbye. I'll participate in this life on my terms, and I'm not going to remember anything from the past, or I have no desire to engage in any of that visual story stuff. Like, I'm done. So then when we go into a place of disassociation, so you can imagine now when you think about it with what we've been working with, if we're going out of our body, what is it that we need to do? We need to bring ourselves back in. Like I said, sometimes you got to literally pull yourself back in, but you can't do that unless you're grounded. Everything comes back to, we've lost our ground. When we go out here, and I've lived out there in my disassociation, I know it all too well, and now I catch it as immediately as, whoop, get back in here. You're doing the work. Because I lose ground. You may lose ground as we become more aware of what some of these, what some of these feel like. But then the question is so what is it that you did not want to see growing up? What was it that you didn't want to see? What is it right now today that you maybe don't want to see? There's a whole lot out there. And it's important that we pull ourselves back in, especially when we're doing such great work. And then again, we come back to the contraction. What was the contraction? What was that? Even sometimes your shoulders roll forward. You feel like you've been punched in the gut. What was that contraction? And guess what? What do we need to do there? We need to ground, we need to center, we need to align, we need to expand. With gentleness and compassion as we go, wow, we might want to just even wrap ourselves in a blanket, lay on the couch, stay an extra bit in bed. Nurture yourself. Nurture yourself. What is the illusion that you carried away with that image? What is the illusion behind that image, where we deconstruct the dots? And what might be the underlying truth? What might be the underlying truth? The truth is, you know what? What happened to me as a little girl really, I think, is part and parcel of my deep desire to contribute to humanity. Because I never wanted to have kids. And yet I had a man come into my life that gave me the ultimatum to say divorce or children. Wow. He had to show up to a contract that I created somewhere else that said, okay, I have to have children when I'm here, and somebody's going to have to rise to the occasion and make me have children. And he did. I made the choice to have children. And I have two amazing humans that are going to no doubt add value to this world. So there's the gift. When I reconnect the dots, it's like, wow, there's the gift. There's times when a child, she says, did not see what she thought she saw or he saw. Daddy's not drunk on the couch, he's just tired. Mommy isn't upset with you, she's just having a bad day. We're a very happy family and we all love each other so very, very much. Sound familiar? These are the kind of illusions that get stated verbally or acted out by family or daily drama within. All these things. Since the contradiction is so difficult for a young child to live with, it's easier for them to deny their own perception of their reality. And then we can go on to shame. Shame-based people feel compelled to look and perform as perfectly as possible at all times. Sound familiar? When this happens, it's a self-scrutiny program. It's lodged in here, the sixth chakra. It takes up most of the chakra space, blocking any and all new information. We close the blinds on all this essential information this essential window to the soul, and become psychologically blind as well. So if you're having difficulties in this area, it's not your fault. There is no fault or blame. There is no right or wrong. We're just here to do the work. It's not your pity party. It's not my pity party. It's our celebration of where we are at right here and right now. The ability to stay strong with this information and stay in full love and compassion of grace for you, for me, for the world at large. We see this level of pain in the world. We see people being victimized. We see people abusing their authority. Both sides of the coin is simply pain. Pain of that unevolved consciousness where they are blocked to it, or they've had it trained out of them. It's like overtraining a dog, whipping the soul out of the human. The soul can't come back unless we ask, unless we take action for it to re-engage with us. Otherwise, it can just sit dormant. When we start taking this action, when we start participating in things like this, then the soul says, whoa, wake up, there's an awakening happening. Yes, I'm here for you. And you ask for direction. When we look at how it's deficient in here, we look at, our memory. How great is your memory? If your memory is poor in general, you may have it closed down for protection. When we think about it and sit here and discuss it, it makes so much sense, doesn't it? It makes so much sense. If you have difficulty visualizing or imagining things differently, what do you think that might be? A little block. Or saying, that's just the way I am. How many times have you heard someone, or maybe yourself, you've expressed that? That's just the way I am. I know I've said that. If you're having difficulty with visualization, it's frustrating, or if it's frustrating to follow a guided meditations or creative visualizations like we've been doing, sometimes you'll self-sabotage and you'll avoid techniques that employ practices that allow that greater awareness. If we cannot imagine change, guess what? It's less likely to occur. I want you to feel your feet on the floor and your sit bones on the chair. I want you to see where you're breathing right now. Are you breathing in your upper chest? Are you breathing in your lower belly? I'd like you to put your hand on your belly and take a nice deep breath into your lower abdomen. As we bring in our mantra, I'll come into the conclusion of this section that she talks about. So start to engage the Soham. And tomorrow I'd like to introduce a guided meditation that will be a bit longer, that we can experience some visualization and take it into that place of exploration. And breathe. Inhale a little deeper, exhale a little longer. And with such deep gratitude to this visual place in our mind, feel the breath coming up the nostrils and into the third eye. And allow it come all the way down as it comes down over the top of your head and down to your toes. And you're welcome welcome to use sound. Let's take a nice clearing breath. Inhale. And exhale with sound. So many stories, so many visuals, so many images. So much trauma. So much abuse. And yet so much love of the person just doing the best that they can in that moment in time. All people are working with their pain. Check in with your body right now and see if there's somewhere that the body needs attention. And place your hand there. And let your body know that you're here, you're awake, that you love that part of your body, you love all of your body. You're listening and you're healing. Regulate your feet on the floor, lifting your feet, alternating your feet back and forth slowly. I'm doing it with you. It is a beautiful metaphor with what we're doing in the meditations. It's like a muddy glass of water. And if you let it sit still long enough, the mud will settle and the water will become clear. I promise you. It will become clear. And then you got to find peace with the clearness. So let's journey there in our Soham. And let's take a minute or two in silence together as we continue our practice. Let's finish our grounding and centering and aligning as well as we bring in that Mother Earth energy and engage it to that centering as we bring that red Mother Earth energy up, up, up and fill the body, down the arms to the hands. And bring that alignment from that Mother Earth energy from the central core of the earth as we draw that hairline up to follow the Mother Earth energy up into the solar system, the Milky Way, the universe, and the cosmos. And ask with permission, consent to receive this golden white light energy as we draw this healing energy into the 7th Sahasrara portal. Allow it to open and fill the head and the neck and the chest. Allow this healing energy to wash over the shoulders and relax every part of the body as we draw it down our arms and into our hands. And touch that part of the body that's requesting attention right now as we continue to draw this golden white light energy into the torso and into the hips and the legs. In such deep gratitude for this higher self, this super consciousness, this God, creator, source energy. As we become the creators of our life, as we become creative in how we uncover and become more aware, as we become creative in the ways that we heal ourselves and heal others along the way, and our lineage included in that. As we engage the creativeness of our imagination. Inhaling deeply into the lower abdomen. Oops, we just had a card jump right out of the deck. So that is our card, our offering for today. It is sincerity. Be perfectly sincere, and no victory will be denied to you. An uncompromising sincerity is the surest way to spiritual achievement. Do not pretend, be. Do not promise, act. Do not dream, realize. That's another creative way to look at it, isn't it? Be perfectly sincere and no victory will be denied to you. An uncompromising sincerity is the surest way to spiritual achievement. Do not pretend, be. Do not promise, act. Do not dream, realize. Try it on. See how it feels. Maybe that's the mantra for you today. And with that, I love you. I hope to see you here tomorrow for our guided meditation.